Welcome, metaphysicians. This is Let's Get Meta episode 94, The Turning Point. That's right, critical mass has been reached. We are at a pivotal moment in the Earth's history right now. So many people are waking up every single day. Check out this episode for more news on that. I hope you enjoy it.
You're listening to Let's Get Metaphysical. This podcast explores the spiritual and metaphysical world through the experiences and opinions of the host and those interviewed. It should not necessarily be seen as direct endorsement or personal advice to our listeners. We encourage you to use your own discernment, judgment, and intuition regarding anything you learn from this show.
Let's get meta.
Welcome to the Let's Get Metaphysical Podcast. I'm your host, Renata Hana Maniaci, here to remind you, you are a divine, spiritual being having a temporary human experience here on lovely planet Earth. Make the most of it. This is episode 94 of season 7, Heaven on Earth. And that's what I want to talk about a bit more today, is how this planet is turning the tide. We are seeing steps towards becoming a heaven on Earth right now. Something has changed in the air. The energy is different. Something happened between mid-December and now. Energetically, spiritually, things are turning physically. On so many levels, the seen and the unseen. And it feels different, doesn't it? It does feel different. If you tune in, it feels lighter somehow. So I'm going to allow what needs to come through on that topic. So I'll jump in with my prayer request for this episode. Masters and angels, I request your presence, support, love, and guidance throughout this episode. Please allow whatever needs to be told right now to come through. Please let me only speak the truth, know the truth, be the truth, and become the truth. Allow this episode to reach whoever needs to hear it. And please allow all of our listeners to get whatever information and healing that they need in this episode. Thank you with gratitude and full faith, plus creation. And with that, let's get meta. Surely you have all noticed that something has shifted lately. I really think that anyone that tunes in for just a moment can feel that there's been a major change, and there will continue to be major changes on the planet, but something is different now. There's a major tide that's turning. We are hearing about more and more corruption and lies, brainwashing, mind control come to the surface. We're actually seeing it. True stories are being told right now. And I think that this is just a wave that's going to keep on going and growing in momentum. We're seeing all kinds of things happen around the world, like I said, on the physical, but I can also say that there is extreme activity in the unseen world right now. There is massive karmic mitigation happening for this planet at this time, and things are changing very quickly on one level. And, to our eyes, it can be really slow, right? This is still going to play out over years. This is a massive transformation. Nothing has happened like this on this planet, this kind of transformation. And believe it or not, out of the billions of planets out there, it's pretty unusual for something like this to happen in general. Universally. All the beings of the universe are watching this planet right now. Many of them are helping this process take place. This is a spiritual war, and it was meant to be. We all incarnated for this time. Yes, people are leaving the planet, and that was their contract. If someone you know or love has left the planet, that was part of their contract at this time. I've lost people over these past 2 years as well. But if you're here now, there's a reason for that. On some deep level, you knew that all of this was going to happen and that you somehow are here to be part of this massive transition happening on this planet right now. Something really beautiful about truth is that when you hear it, it resonates. It resonates on some level. And for many of us, it has taken time to come back to being able to recognize it when it happens, because this world has been built up around us that has made us trust other sources than the real resonance of real truth. We're taught to believe everything in school, anything somebody older than us says, anything on the news, anything a politician says, things in the movies, actors, famous people, athletes. We've given away our personal authority and given away our responsibility to resonating with that frequency of truth. But we're getting it back right now in a big way. I got some guidance the other day, and it said that this is a time of deep knowing for the whole planet, not just individuals. And what that meant was that the veil, we'll say that there's many veils, so a veil has been lifted from this planet, and it's easier for us to connect with our intuition and our true guidance, our true north, some might say. There was so much getting in between us and our truth. And not just our truth, the truth, universal truth. There was so much put in the way it's as if you're on one end of the football field and the truth was on the other, and there was all this stuff in between. A never-ending obstacle course of lies, fog, deceit, misdirection, brainwashing, mind control, propaganda. And a big chunk of that has been eliminated. Not all of it, but a big chunk of it has been eliminated so that it is actually easier for us to resonate with and discern truth at this time and connect with our guidance. And because of that, I want to encourage anyone listening to take this time, this opportunity. Well, I think it'll just keep growing, honestly. I don't think we're going to lose this, but take this time to ask your questions, connect in to your high self, your soul, or your highest level guides. Only those of the light, only those bringing positivity, only those working for the light. But ask your questions and then be silent and receive the answers. They might show it to you in your mind. You might hear words. You might just know. I talk about this enough on the podcast, so many ways to gain information. But it's easier now. It really is. I'm asking all of you to try this. If you have a question about something, just find a quiet spot and breathe deeply into your belly. This is one way to do it, right? There's many ways to do it, but breathe deeply into your belly. And every time you inhale, bring in love. And every time you exhale, exhale love. It's really simple. Do that for a minute or two to get on that unconditional love frequency, because it helps to get information. And then ask your question. And then listen for the answer. You can get anything right now. It's amazing. There's been a shift. And this isn't just people who are, interested in spirituality or spiritual seekers. people looking for their purpose, people on the enlightenment path, people looking to ascend. This is anyone. This is muggles. This is your neighbors. This is people who have not been awake to what's been happening on the planet. This is everyone. That's what I'm being told anyway. Things are changing, and they're changing fast. And yet it's still going to be, maybe our whole lifetime of this transition. And that seems like a lot. And I can't say that for sure, of course. But this is why we're here. This is why we came. So buckle up. I wanted to share a bit of what came through on my new moon event a few days ago. As most of you know, I do a full moon event for my online community and a new moon event, and they're different. The full moon is all about clearing and healing, different things that come up. It's super powerful. And the new moon is more about intention setting, doing a card pull to see what's coming in the month, and allowing space for anything to come through from the highest guidance, channeling, question and answer, etc. So that's a thing that happens every month, both of those on the new and full moon. But a few days ago, something that came through was up-leveling our courage at this time. So many of us are going through a lot right now. Last year was difficult. 2021, I had 2 major losses, and I'm still grieving them in my life. But a lot of really great stuff happened last year too. But I know that my story is not unique, and everybody is going through so much right now. And so what came through is that we get to up-level our courage. Just expand it. Ask for help in giving it maximum strength, maximum power, maximum force. And you can do this however you want. You can envision your courage as a color or a shape or some kind of form, a feeling. And what I see myself doing is holding it up to the sky, to the light, to the universe, and asking my guides and angels to strengthen it, to expand it, to make it more all-encompassing. I feel my courage in my solar plexus area, so that's where I hold it up from. It looks yellow. It has the color yellow, which so does the solar plexus chakra traditionally. And I'll just make a request here for everyone now, in case you want in on this, right? Masters and angels, I request that you strengthen our courage, maximize the strength and the scope of our courage moving forward as this tide is turning for the planet. Thank you with gratitude and full faith. Masters and angels, I request that you increase our bravery and our groundedness and our resoluteness to see these changes, these transformations, these positive transformations through, to hold our ground and to keep moving forward so that we really can bring down the heaven that is in the etheric, that is in these dimensions that are so closely layered on top of each other, and bring that heaven down so that we can all see it around us and experience that and live it every day. Thank you with gratitude and full faith. There were other things that came through on this new moon event, but those are 2 big ones. Really expanding your courage and knowing and experiencing how much easier it is to connect with your soul right now, your guides, your angels, your high self, however you see that source, and get the answers and the guidance that you need in any situation, especially remaining calm, breathing in love, breathing out love, getting yourself in the right state. I personally suggest doing this without having any kind of influence of drugs, alcohol, psychedelics, plant medicine. No interference. Just you and them. And just ask for help. Ask for whatever you need. Information, help, healing, guidance, whatever you need. Because this planet is changing. It's changing quickly. And I think that, yes, there's going to continue to be conflict and chaos moving forward. But if you can stay grounded, if you can keep your center, keep your courage, keep asking for guidance, you can be a positive influence and a positive source of change, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. Just your vibration. You don't have to say or do anything necessarily. It's all about your vibration, and it's all about consciousness. We can change each other. It goes both ways, you know? Someone's lower vibration can affect those around them, just as someone's higher vibration can affect those around them. So what do you want to do? How do you want to affect people? How do you want to affect yourself, your family, your friends, your work, your places of recreation, your play, your everything? You get to choose. And that brings me to another thing that came through in that clearing, in that event, the new moon event. And that is of maintaining the most high, happy, joyful vibration that you can. And doing what you need to do that. You know, of course, eat well, sleep, exercise, play. But also ask yourself what you need. What does your inner self need? And listen to yourself. You might be surprised at what your soul tells you that it needs. But it's time to cater to that so that you can remain in the highest vibration. What happens when you see somebody who's joyful and happy and confident around you? Unless you have something to work through, which many of us do, you might adopt that behavior and feel happy and confident and joyful, right? Let that spread like a virus. Let that take over the whole country and the whole world. Spray joy everywhere and happiness everywhere. Get it all over everything. Make a mess of joy. Make a mess of happiness. And there's another piece to this. Adopt the attitude that everything is happening right on schedule. Practice being neutral, non-reactive, and even excited when you hear something that you didn't know you were going to hear, something surprising maybe. But it's almost like adopting like a, oh yeah, all right, this is right on time. This is happening right on schedule, no matter what it is. Even if it's just for your life, you know, have fun with it. You know, even if it's something, you know, you drop the grocery bag and your eggs break when you get back to the house. You know, oh, that happened right on schedule, you know? Adopt this faithful attitude, because that's kind of what that is. Oh yeah, this is happening right on schedule. Because it all is. It really is on the highest level. But if you can exude that vibration, that it's all happening right on schedule, it's happening for a reason, it's happening for a purpose, that will ripple out and affect those around you positively. And we will see this shift happen even faster than it is now. And in the grand scheme of things, folks, this has been happening quite fast. All of it. This whole planet is set to change. It's been written. On some level, our souls knew that this was happening. So for so much to happen in 2 years, and it hasn't just been 2 years, right? We've been building up to this forever, but this is still happening quickly, even though it might feel like molasses and like nothing is changing, but it is. So adjust your vibration, adjust your frequency to help. And the best you can do is stay in high vibration, happy, joyful, loving, and trusting that everything is happening right on schedule. Because in truth, it is. So I'll leave it there for today. Thank you all so much again for tuning in. I am just so humbled by how big our audience is growing. It's growing astronomically just over the last 12 months. It's a really beautiful thing. And again, I think I shared this in the last couple episodes, but we have a brand new website. It's beautiful. letsgetmeta.com, same domain as ever, but brand new, beautiful website. You can always access bonus content and my full moon clearings, my new moon events, and even my awakening courses at patreon.com/letsgetmeta. You can become an angel donor. And that platform is really for two sets of people who also may overlap. It is for spiritual seekers who wish to go further in their development in a consistent and safe way, in a high vibration way. And there's several different tiers and options that you have to do that. And it's also for supporters of the podcast and of Up and Awaken Productions. It serves those two dual purposes of being a source of spiritual support and being a space where people can support us and these projects and this content that we're putting out into the world. So check that out, patreon.com/letsgetmeta if you're interested. The full moon clearings are really powerful. Everyone always gets a lot out of them. They're different every time, depending on what's going on in the world and what participants say that they need. It's live. You can tell me what's going on, and I can do direct clearing and requests. And new moon events are also very powerful in a different way. Setting intentions, seeing what's coming up in the next moon cycle, bringing through messages. And of course, all tiers get access to any and all exclusive bonus content from all of the podcast episodes. The grand majority of all the episodes have bonus content. And this takes form in many different ways. Extended interviews with guests, clearings on specific topics, meditations, card pulls, personal stories from me on personal spiritual topics, all kinds of things. And there's more than 75 pieces. It's probably closer to 80 pieces of bonus content on that site that you get access to immediately. So I just wanted to expand on that a little bit because it's been up-leveled. It's a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful, consistent way to tune into yourself and progress your spiritual practice in a way that is honest and comfortable and true. And as always, don't forget to check out my free gift to you, which is the Let's Get Meta Master Clearing. You can find that at the very, very top of the new website, letsgetmeta.com. Very, very top, you can click that button and gain access to that master clearing. It's kind of like the first step. It's like opening a door and walking into a new space and going through a spiritual car wash, because we get a lot cleared out just with that clearing. And then you also get a taste of what the full moon clearings are like every month. So check that out if you are interested. And thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Stay positive, stay safe, and stay meta.
The Let's Get Metaphysical podcast is an Up and Awaken production. Our intention is to raise the vibration of the planet by sharing, validating, and normalizing spiritual and metaphysical experiences. If you are ready to raise your vibration, you might enjoy our free Let's Get Meta Master Clearing. To receive the Master Clearing or to learn more about the podcast, visit letsgetmeta.com. The show is produced and hosted by Renata Maniaci. Thank you for listening. Stay meta.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.